But there is an odor emanating from a certain franchise, and that franchise is none other than the Los Angeles Lakers, who got absolutely annihilated last night by the Phoenix Suns in a pivotal Game 5. The Lakers now find themselves down 3-2, Brady Quinn. No Anthony Davis for L.A. They get knifed on national television, and here was LeBron James, who I got to give him credit. At least he was honest. He owned it after the loss.
We got our ass kicked. I mean, it's just that simple. They got to whatever they wanted to get to in this game, and we got to be better, obviously, if we want to force a Game 7. So, obviously, a lot to learn from in this game, a lot to cover. See, what we got to do better going into Game 6. But they pretty much just kicked our asses. I mean, there's nothing else really to say.
But that little bit of honesty. How about that? Little honesty goes a long way in the world of sports. LeBron James just telling what everybody watched. They got ruined last night. The game was over in a hurry, and it was ugly from there on out.
It was over by half. And it really was the second quarter that was the difference. Devin Booker, and I've said this since he's gotten in the league, and I've told you, I've got some buddies who went to Kentucky, and they all watched him in college. They kept raving about him. And I was like, I guess. I didn't notice anything in particular, but once he got in the league, and then once this league started to shift to becoming such a spaced-out shooters league, then you saw his value. And last night was an example of that. Maybe not even so much so as another player in the West, Damian Lillard, in his night. But it was over in the second quarter. It was ridiculous to think that what was it? I think it was after the first quarter I was watching. Booker had 18 points.
Yeah.
Payne had 10. Like between, both guards, they had 28 of the 34 points. Like it wasn't even like they needed any help. The Lakers just couldn't figure out a way of stopping either one, and it was a combination of them. Look, they looked at the lane, and they were not scared by Andre Drummond. They were not. And they'd penetrate, kick out, penetrate, take a jumper, floater, mid-range, whatever it was, three-pointer. But they were not intimidated whatsoever by Andre Drummond being there. Morris, who got the start in replace of AD. It's a lineup that almost reminds me, and this is dating back to my time growing up in Ohio. I grew up a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. I was a huge Mark Price, Brad Doherty those years watching
Rod
Michael
Williams.
Jordan. But mostly Doherty and Price were kind of carrying that team. Sean Kemp at his fatter stages. I'm not sure if you remember him as 400 pounds.
I do. Yeah. And that's insulting because I was a big Sean Kemp fan.
Well, that was my first jersey. My first basketball jersey ever that I wanted was Sean Kemp. I have no idea why. Seattle Supersonics, but I digress. And by the way, I'm pretty sure he broke a backboard or two in Cleveland. But it almost reminds me of like those LeBron teams early on in his career, where like Dan Gilbert, the owner, couldn't figure out a way of how to build out around him. This has the feeling of that when they don't have AD. Like this team is just kind of helpless. And I know Schroeder didn't play well, and KCP didn't necessarily play well by any means. And so LeBron's out there on an island trying to do it all. The weird thing is I still, at 3-2, Suns being up, I'm not panicking.
No, I actually.
But no, we have Lakers fans with us, and we can take a poll. I am curious to see whether or not Lakers fans are panicking, because I look at it and I always just go, well, they still have LeBron. And I do think AD will eventually come back.
Yeah, well, I actually don't think it was that bad. Look, if you're gonna lose a playoff game, don't you want it to be over in a hurry? Just so at least okay, it's not an elimination game.
Well, we made 3.5 quarters. That's when LeBron left.
He had some places to go. Listen, he's all about the team. This is not LeBron James and the Lakers. This is the Lakers and LeBron James. And don't let anybody ever steer you otherwise in another direction, Brady Quinn. But no, I look at it and I go, all right, they're down 3-2. But it's not like if Anthony Davis comes back, we haven't seen him be effective before. Any game, and you pointed this out, any game that Anthony Davis either isn't involved in or plays horribly in, the Lakers lose. He really is the key ingredient. He's the linchpin to whether or not they're going to win this series. Now, I don't know if you're a big fan of of nicknames and how nicknames come to be. But if you are a big fan of nicknames, I mean, do you have any nicknames? I know I call you Slappy because I can't say the real term on the air.
You came up with that. Yeah, that's right.
That was mine.
You didn't learn that from some coach up in the Northeast. Not really. I mean, most people just call me by my initials, BQ or something like that. So it's not too complicated. Now, you've got a lot, right? I mean, you try to get people to call you the Prince of Darkness. I believe that's like your weekend nickname.
That's not true.
True.
Listen, Mike North called me that name.
I've heard someone call you Too Short. I don't know if that's a reference into the rapper or something else.
I got pants in public one time. A whole other conversation. Listen, I don't even want to get into that. But here's the point. If you are a fan of nicknames, and if you've ever wondered, like, how did so-and-so get their nickname? Well, if you're a fan of those nicknames, Charles Barkley on TNT, he has coined Anthony Davis with a brand new nickname. This is a gift from Charles Barkley, from his mouth to your ears. Let's hear it.
Anthony Davis, I told you, the Lakers can't win this series. Forget about the championship. They can't win this series without street clothes.
I'm not even... You want to explain that?
I call him Anthony Street Clothes Davis because he's always in street clothes.
You ain't got to explain it, Chuck.
Oh, man. He's the best. He's the best.
First of all,
is there anyone better on TV than Charles Barkley?
He's so good. He's so good because he doesn't care.
No,
like it's like whatever. I think he just took the job because he was like, man, it's a little extra spending money, whatever. I already got all my NBA wealth. I'll go ahead and make this job. And I actually think
pay for the golf lessons. Although he is turning the corner in that regard. Yeah.
I actually think Charles Barkley is known more for his TV work than as a basketball player.
Oh, especially now.
And as a basketball player,
there's not many kids alive who watched him. Yeah,
but as a basketball player, he was fantastic. He was so good. Yes, he was so good. And I just think he is so good as a broadcaster that it completely overshadows everything. But Anthony Street Clothes Davis is going to be something that will be made. They will make T-shirts with it. If the Lakers advance past this series, or the next time Anthony Davis appears in a game on the road, a street clothes chant will be happening. This is going to carry with Anthony Davis, and I just have a funny feeling that Anthony Davis is not going to be too pleased with the nickname that he was given by Charles Barkley. Not that it's not accurate. I just, he might not be too pleased with all this that comes with it.
Look, I know they said it was a game time decision. Did you watch him in the warm-ups?
He was not playing. He was not playing.
He wasn't getting up to walk for a bottle of water. It looked like he didn't want to strain or move anything, which lends me to think that he may not be back for Game 6. Like they could be in some trouble. LeBron's literally, and I thought LeBron was going to do it this game, and I think it started out that way, where the offense revolved entirely around him. He was taking the ball down the court as a point. At times he would, get down in the post, back guys down. He was taking a lot of shots early. And once things got out of hand in the second quarter where Phoenix started to kind of separate themselves, it was over. It was over. Like there was nothing he could do. No one was hitting shots around him. And that was a wrap. And it was almost like, to your point, hey, let's throw in the towel. If we could wave the white flag, we would. The only thing I don't like about it is it's just one of those unwritten rules in sports. You just, unless you're injured, and I don't know, maybe it was that. Maybe he had something else going on he needed to go get addressed. But unless you're injured, you stay on the court with your teammates. That's what bothers me about it. And I know there's probably some other players who've done it. But he's a guy that, look, I'm the same class as him coming from Ohio. I've watched him his entire career. He has done nothing to deserve the hate that a lot of people have for him other than be great. And there's always going to be people who hate you for your greatness. But he gives them a little extra ammunition when he does stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
when he's supposed to be the leader, he's supposed to be this guy people are always looking to, and then you see him walking off in the middle of the game. Because there's little kids now who think, oh, it's cool to do that, or that's what happens when you lose. When you don't have a chance, you don't sit there on the bench with your teammates and watch it and learn from it and take it and try to change it moving forward. You just turn your back to it and walk away. Like that's the thing I hate about it. And again, he's one of the greatest to do it of all time. Top 3 player, right? 5 player, depending on who you're talking to. But when you do stuff like that, man, I'm just like, come on, dude. You're better than that, you know? Like that's not the kind of stuff that, again, someone in his position needs to be doing.
I mean, you wouldn't walk out on a team like that, Brady Quinn, if you got pissed off at him. I mean,
no,
you wouldn't walk. Well, okay, what if we were
not even with all the conspiracy theories around why he left Cleveland the first time, and it all started at a Halloween party. I'll just leave it at that. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean? Hold on a second.
I'm
What
not
do you
getting
mean?
into this one.
Come on,
okay?
what do you mean?
I knew way too many people around the arena there, the security staff, and all that. I'm not getting into some of the rumors that came out there.
I mean, like, what do you? I mean, are we talking like, alcohol?
Delonte West.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. This is Jonas Knox and Brady Quinn here on Fox Sports Radio. Yeah, there's hey, I mean, everybody's got a particular taste. I mean, I'm not here to judge, and I don't think you should judge either. I don't think that's very fair of you to bring up a story.
I didn't say. I just said,
listen,
maybe in those circumstances, you might be a little frustrated with your team.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that absolutely.